Good morning. Let's begin. We're going to begin this morning in mountain pose. So, feet under the hips, spread those toes wide, evenly distribute the weight. Maybe find a gentle rock side to side as we begin, just to sway. Close down your eyes and find your breath, your rhythm as we begin our practice. Today we're going to be practicing the standing series of Bikram, or 26 and 2, which is like really the warm-up for the Bikram series. And there are pieces of it that can be challenging depending on the day, depending on your balance today, your energy level, just your comfort level. And so today we're really going to practice in those moments of difficulty, taking a breath, taking a pause, creating space between the difficult moment and your reaction to it. And in that space, letting tenderness in. A kind word to yourself for being here trying, for being here practicing love and tenderness toward yourself. If all you do is say a kind thing to yourself in this hour, you have far exceeded the intention for today. The poses are our way in to learning more about ourselves. On your next exhale, release an expectation. Release a should. Maybe let your head be part of the sway. Maybe one hand finds your heart, one hand finds your low belly. Feeling the warmth your hands create on these parts of your body. On your next exhale, letting out an audible sigh. And horse lips, relaxing that jaw and those lips. And on the exhale, making that bubbling sound. Maybe on your next one, sticking out your tongue and letting out a ha sound, just exploring all of our pranayama. Maybe wiggling those toes, really bringing your awareness to your feet, to whether you're clenching or gripping, and see if you can bring some relaxation to this rooted point of your body. And when you're ready, finding stillness, setting your intention for just a second of tenderness in the difficult times. And when you're ready, bringing both feet together, clasping your hands underneath your chin. And we're going to inhale for 6 as you raise your elbows up toward the sky. And then on the exhale, tilting your chin back, making a ha sound, and bringing your elbows to touch in front of you. And then again, inhale, dropping that chin down as elbows raise to the sky. And then exhale, head drops back, but back remains straight. You don't want an arch in your back as your elbows touch forward. And again, inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, head drops. Chin is pressing into those clasped knuckles, elbows rise to the sky. Exhale, ha sound. Squeezing those glutes just gently to keep that back nice and upright. Inhaling, belly button pulling into the navel. And then exhale and letting it all go. Inhale. Maybe zip in a little more air at the end. And then exhale. Continuing just like that. 2 more full rounds. Relaxing those arms down by your side. Between the poses, we remain still. And then step your right foot out just 6 inches. So feet are now directly underneath your hips. Arms come out in front of you. Sit back into chair pose. So butt is really leaning back, almost like someone's pulling your hips ever so slightly back. Weight in your heels. Maybe just an inch lower. And then bring that chest up. So now there's this arch in your low back. Shoulders are plugged into the arms. Fingers are pointing straight in front. Navel into the spine. One more breath. And stand tall. Now knock those knees together. Heels can be slightly out. And on a count of 10, slowly lower down. This is a great place to be near a wall for this standing series. And always just gently put your fingertips on the wall should you need. If your knees aren't super sensitive or having a lot of intense sensation, you can just find a gentle bounce and then slowly make your way back up. Feet down. Last one. Up high on your tiptoes like a ballerina. And then begin to sit down into a chair. Think about pressing those ankles forward. Heels are lifted off the floor. Find your breath. Come back up. Heels down. Feet together, arms down. I reversed 2 of those movements. So we're going to explore half moon now. Arms lift up overhead. Release those index fingers. Your fingers look like that. Arms by the ears. Elbows locked. But knees with an ever so slightly gentle bend in them. And find a couple tick-tocks back and forth. Maybe you want to explore little circles. Then coming back to neutral. Inhaling up and then exhaling over to the right. This can be really gentle or just warming up. Hips forward, left hip pushing out to the left side, right arms pulling toward the right. Finding little sips of breath. Opening that left side body and coming back up. Inhaling up and exhaling over to the left. Two hips in one line, arms by the ears, right hips pulling toward the right, arms pointing toward the left, feet grounded into the earth, taking those nourishing sips of air, and back up. Now you're gonna drop your head back behind you, and this is a fine place to stay. You can also always bring your hands to your back pockets, like you're putting them in your pockets, elbows squeezed in, and explore a gentle back bend here. Or you can keep your arms up straight, drop that head, and bring those arms with you, hips pushing forward. And back up. Bend into those knees. Hands come to the floor and separate in front of you, and just bend into one knee and then the other, really walking it out. Letting that head hang heavy. Noticing any areas in the body that are holding tension and bringing a little breath there, a tender thought there. You can either hold your ankles or you can step with your heels on all five fingers. Elbows are working their way energetically toward behind your knees. Knees can be as bent as you'd like. The goal is to have your nose nestling between your knees. So if you have to keep your knees bent in order to have that contact, that's beautiful. Stay right there. I also invite you to begin to straighten those legs as long as you can maintain that contact. Pulling on those heels, head energetically working its way down to the tops of the feet. One day, top of head and top of feet to meet. And release those hands, arms back out in front of you. Slowly rise up and release. Take a moment. You're doing beautifully. Usually we would now move into that chair series that I already did. Forgive me. Forgive me if you're a Bikram practitioner. We're going to come into eagle pose. So arms raise up overhead. Right arm sweeps under left arm. And you can, so right is under left. There's a lot of variations here. You can just touch shoulders, elbows stacked on each other. You can work your way energetically to back of hands touching, shoulders drawing down, shoulder blades drawing apart. Or you can find that double bind where you're working your palms toward touching. Any of those are serving the intention. None is better than the other. Sit down into your chair. Take that right leg and cross it over left. We want tight like ropes. Again, great place to have a wall near you. And you can stay like this or put a little kickstand down, or you can explore that double bind. Foot working out toward the other side of that left ankle, and sit down wherever you are. That compression, so good for flushing out toxins in our body. They call it the tourniquet method. Navel in. If you feel like you're losing your balance, gently lean back, elbows draw down toward your navel, and then release. Arms up, left under right. All the same variations apply. Sit down into your chair, ever so slightly bend back so you have a slight arch in your back, and then left over right. Finding that tourniquet method, sitting down, leaning back, navel into the spine. Find your flow of breath and release. Take a moment here. We're going to do that for 2. Usually in Bikram, you do all of these sections we've done for 2. Today, for the sake of our hour together, we are going to just do a few of the poses 2 times. Eagle is one of them. Arms up, right under left. Find your variation for today. Sit down. Right crosses over left. Find your place, 2 hips in one line, knees straight, elbows straight, everything in one line. If you're losing your balance, sit down. Arch slightly back, navel in, maybe find a smile, maybe be silly. And release. Right into left, under right. Sit down. Left leg lifts and wraps. Let that right foot feel like it's melting across the earth, taking up space in your Pada Bandha. And release. Stillness. Breath. Gratitude. Next pose. Lift your right leg up so that your hamstring is parallel to the earth. Here in this like 90-degree angle. This is a beautiful place to stay. Looking straight ahead, breathing, feeling powerful, feeling beautiful, all the things you inherently are without having to do anything. Or if you'd like, you can start to round your back forward, lace your hands underneath that foot. And again, this is a beautiful place to stay. Find your breath. Make sure that left leg is stamped into the earth. You can begin to kick out if you'd like, really flexing those right toes back. Both legs straight. Good job. One more breath. And then coming out the way you came in, bending, bringing that body up, but down. And exploring the other side, really being proud of whatever variation you choose. I'm beginning to lift that left leg up. Again, if you're choosing to be here, beware that you're just gently tucking that tailbone down so you have this nice long line of the body. Great place to stay, or you can begin to round forward. Lace all 10 fingers underneath that left foot. And if you'd like, beginning to kick out. Really flexing that left foot, really flexing those toes back toward your face. Standing leg is straight. 3 more breaths here. And unfolding the way you came back, the way you went in. Taking a moment. And moving into dancer's pose. Right arm out to your side, elbow in close, palm facing up toward the sky. And you're gonna grab your right foot from the inside. So see how my palm is from the inside. Grabbing. Left arm raises up toward the sky. This is such a beautiful place to stay. Some days this is where I choose to stay. If you'd like to unfold a little more, you can begin to kick your right foot into your right hand. Let that shoulder really open and go with it too. So kick, 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 and then begin to lean forward. But this is a counterbalance. So as much as you lean forward, that's as much as you need to kick back into your hand. And you continue like that, kicking into your hand, leaning forward, breathing, finding a smile, finding some pride for yourself. Foot comes up over that head. 2 more breaths. If you fall out of it, that's okay. Just get right back in and come out the way you came in. Doesn't always have to be graceful. We're here to practice. Life isn't always graceful. That's why they call all of this practice, right? Good job. Left, palm up. Again, grabbing the inside of that foot. Right arm up. Beautiful place to stay. Beautiful place to breathe, to explore your balance. Just to feel empowered here is beautiful. Letting that left shoulder really fall open. Or if you'd like to continue, starting first by kicking that left foot into that left hand, and then in equal parts, leaning forward. As much as you lean forward, you have to kick back. This is where you find your balance. It's a push and a pull, like the tides, like life. Two more breaths. You're doing beautiful wherever you are. If you fall out, come back in. And when you're ready, come on out. Take a moment. Come back to your intention of bringing in tenderness, softness, playfulness, maybe the absurdity of it all, that we're all here together doing these shapes on a rectangular mat. We're gonna try dancers again. Now that you know more about it, maybe you go a little further this time, or maybe you pull back a little this time, really honoring what you're hearing inside. Right palm up, grabbing that inside of the foot, left arm to the sky, and just really finding that counterbalance of kicking into the foot and reaching forward. Letting that right shoulder peel open. Ten more seconds, wherever you are. And coming out. Left side. This is one where your chest comes forward. It makes your heart rate really rise. You know, your leg is over your head. So really honor that you might be feeling that, that heart race. Your breath might be a little short. Just knowing that this is like all part of the work is when our bodies start to enter that place of work, that we can still in that core remain calm, right? So this is where we enter in yoga some of those sympathetic responses on purpose with intention so that we can explore widening the resilience of our nervous system, right? When the sympathetic comes in, but we can remain in our place of safety attached to our cues, our sensory cues of I am safe, I hear the wind, I hear the birds, I hear my partner making coffee downstairs, whatever it is, then you are widening that resilience. Okay, so such a beautiful thing. Really honor everything that you're doing. And just begin. You know the cues. You're doing great. It's not about perfection. It's just about exploration. It's about learning, not mastering. It's about being, not doing. How are you being in this pose, regardless of what it looks like? And when you're ready, coming on out. And stepping to the back of your mat, we're going to do balancing stick pose. This is a pose that lasts for 10 seconds. I will count for us. So you step, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you first so you know what you're in for if you've never done this before. You're going to step forward on your right foot, and then your left foot is going to rise off the earth. Hands overhead, arms by the ears, and you're making this like capital T letter, and we hold it for 10 seconds. So arms raise up overhead, release those pointer fingers, really stretch it up, big step forward on the right, and go, leaning down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and stepping back and right into left. Big step forward on the left. Right foot comes up behind you in line with the body. You could rest a cup of tea on your back or on your hamstring or on your tricep. 6. Good job. And you're done. Relax, release. Beautiful work. Beautiful work. I'm going to step toward one side of your mat. Arms raise up overhead, and then a big step open with that right foot. And then slowly, with a flat back, coming down, grabbing the ankles behind or behind the heels. This is a great place to utilize your bolster or any props too, if you have it. There aren't props in, a traditional Bikram practice, but I'm all about breaking tradition. So you can hold on to that bolster too, if that feels a little bit more comfortable to you. Really pulling on those heels, pulling on those ankles to bring that body underneath the legs. Feeling that big stretching sensation, leaning ever so slightly forward onto the balls of your feet and beyond. One more big pull and stretch, and then arms up, raise up, step back together, and take a moment. We're going to do that again. So arms raise, big step to the side, flat back down. Grab where you're going to grab and find that pulling sensation. Releasing that neck, letting that head hang heavy and pulling your body in between your legs. Where can you let go even in this effort? What is something that's unnecessary that you're holding? Put the intention toward the effort and then Find an unnecessary place of clutching where you can release and back up the way you came in. Step back together. Good job. Arms up overhead. Another big step. Coming into warrior two. So pointing those toes toward the top of your mat. Obviously my mat is horizontal. And then coming down into that warrior two. Your left foot is the knife edge of your foot, the pinky edge of your foot is running close to parallel to the short end of your mat. You can find a few bounces, really find that depth. And then tick-tock those arms so that they're in a straight line, one pointing down to your big toe, one pointing up toward the ceiling, maybe looking up or looking down if that feels better for your neck. Feeling that effort, making sure your feet aren't clutching, but that they're rooted and wide, taking up a lot of the earth. And coming back up, straightening that leg, turning that right foot in and then that left foot out. So we're just switching the direction of our warrior two, finding that depth, and then tick-tocking those arms. And gently using that left elbow on the left knee to twist the body open. You want those right ribs twisting toward the sky. Breathing always, and up, straighten, step back together, release. Taking a moment, maybe grabbing a drink of water. Arms up overhead, stepping a little bit less wide. Arms are going to be crossing your thumbs this time. So palms pressed together, pinkies and all four fingers pressed together. Thumbs release and cross behind you. Arms by the ears. And we're going to turn both toes toward the same direction, toward the right. Inhale, lengthen your spine, and then tuck your chin toward your chest. Belly button in toward your spine and really round your way down. You can separate your hands once you get there. You can use a bolster to raise up the floor if you need. The intention here is for your forehead to touch your right knee. So bend that knee as much as you need to for that forehead to touch. This is all by design to flush out our organs, good for our thyroid. And then you're going to slowly start to straighten that knee back. But again, most importantly is contact with the forehead to the knee. So if you lose that contact when you begin to straighten, just come back to slightly bent then. Breathe. Maybe bring that left hip forward, right hip back, trying to get those hips in line. And then when you're ready, rounding back up with your head arriving last. And then turning those feet to the left, both feet point in the same direction. Inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, tuck that chin into the chest and then round down, vertebra by vertebra. Forehead touching that knee. Keeping that knee as bent as you need, straightening it when you can, just working toward straightening. Bring that left hip back, right hip forward, two hips in one line. Really maintaining that round in the spine, that chin
tucked into the chest, almost like you're looking at your belly button. You're trying to look at your belly button, and then rounding all the way back up. Toes turn to the front, step together. Take a moment, take your breath. Really beautiful work. Our last balancing pose in this series, coming into our tree pose. So, right leg lifts, placing that right foot, into the left hand, like the top of the foot. Knee starts to open, and really not forcing the knee open, even if it's here. And as you breathe and over time, letting it melt. We're not trying to force, we're trying to allow. And then when we do find ourselves forcing, we're also forgiving ourselves and loving ourselves for that too. We're allowed to make mistakes. Allowing ourselves to make mistakes as much as we allow ourselves to flourish and thrive. And you're welcome to stay here. You can begin to, remove one hand and then the other. It's also great to just keep that left if you want to hold and bring one hand up to heart center. Whatever feels good today. You can also explore growing your roots out to the side or up to the sky, and then releasing it down. Bringing that left up, left foot into right hand, letting that knee melt down, and really making sure you're not like sitting like you're waiting for the bus into your right hip, but pulling up out of those hips. Picturing the crown of your head just being attached to the divinity above. Finding whatever hand position serves you today. And releasing, honoring your standing practice, maybe a bow of the head. And when you're ready, working your way down onto your mat, onto your back. I'm going to slow it down a little bit. Beautiful work. Bending your legs out long. Arms out towards your side, palms up. And then bringing that right knee into the center chest, clasping those hands on the top of the shin or underneath the hamstring, and giving it that pull toward your center chest. Working that ascending colon. Helps with digestion. And using these moments of slowness to see what's coming to the surface for you. What thought, what emotion, and allowing it to be here, meeting it as a kind witness, a wise witness. Not consumed by it, not owned by it, but the observer of it. How interesting you're feeling that way. How interesting you're thinking that thought. Let me soften right here, right now. And releasing that right leg back down. Bringing left now up to center chest. Finding that pull. Bringing that breath into the front hip, into the low back, into the belly. Maybe some horse lips on those exhales. Loosening that jaw is a sign to the autonomic nervous system that we are safe. A clenched jaw is such a common plight of ours. So trying to do those horse lips throughout the day and just bringing some awareness to what our jaw is doing, what our face is doing. Working our descending colon now. Two more deep breaths here on the left side. Maybe a deep sigh on the last one, a loud sigh. And release it down. Then bringing both knees up to the chest, grabbing wrists or grabbing elbows, tucking that chin slightly so that the back of your neck is energetically working its way toward flat on the earth, letting that back be broad and melt, letting that tailbone even lay on the floor, really working toward length here while we have a compression in the front hip. And then releasing it all open, taking up space, letting your feet fall open. And then bringing those soles of the feet to touch, bending into those knees so you're in that butterfly shape, Supta Baddha Konasana. If your feet are sliding forward, that's okay. Let them be in a diamond. Maybe interlacing your fingers underneath your head and letting those elbows fall open so your arms and your legs are almost mimicking each other in the shape of opening. And if that's too intense for your shoulders, just really honoring that and maybe just having them be in like goalposts out to the side, cactus arms. Just trying to feel an opening here as we conclude. Mm. Taking some of your longest inhales of the day and even longer exhales. Mm. We have moved out of our Bikram series into the yin portion of the day. So, really noticing the difference, the slowing down of the heart rate, of the breath, finding the beauty in both, in the work, in the blood pumping, and then also in the coming down, in the stillness, in the rest, and how we need both to move through our lives, to mobilize into action for the things that we care about, for our passions, and then also allowing our bodies to rest. And that both are necessary and both are true and good. And one is not more valuable than the other. They, they just make up your experience, the full human experience. Just really mindfully folding those knees in and placing your bolster or rolled up beach towel or whatever prop you have handy underneath your sacrum. Just finding this elevated bridge pose. So feet are flat to the earth, knees are however wide it feels good, about hip width, and you have this prop really to melt those hips and that low back into. Hands can be open big out to the sides, or maybe one on the heart, one on the belly. Maybe dropping both knees over to the left and taking that left foot, left ankle, and putting it on top of the right knee and sort of letting that weight and gravity just move that right knee toward the earth. Mine is very far from the earth. It's just energetically bringing some awareness to that psoas, that big muscle that attaches the trunk of our body to our legs. Breathing into whatever sensation is arising for you. For our next 5 breaths, exploring Brahmari Pranayama, which is our humming bee breath. So on the exhale, letting out a humming sound, and whatever that lullaby sounds like for you, it could be high, it could be low, really honoring the sound of your own voice in this moment. Mm. 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 And bringing that left foot down to the earth, knees back up to the sky, finding that neutral spine. And then dropping both knees over toward the right ankle coming on the outside of that left knee. Maybe that left foot drags out a little bit, really just letting your body find its own shape. Letting gravity just really open you. Using gravity to find our most open, most relaxed, most connected shape. Finding that Brahmari breath, that humming for 7 breaths. Mm. Relaxing your shoulders and the back of your neck. Notice where you might have brought any clutching to, and let that area just bloom and open. where it can get the air that you're feeding it. Mm. Mm. And slowly bringing that right foot to the earth, coming back to neutral, noticing any changes, and removing gently any props, and coming into your final resting pose, letting everything let go, maybe finding a cozy blanket and covering yourself up, getting yourself extra comfortable for your Shavasana. Shavasana is not something that you earn by doing an hour-long practice. It's something that is always allowed and available to you. It is your right to rest. We're going to end our practice today in Shavasana with love, light, and everything that's true. Namaste.